Hello everyone, Peter Harris with Commercial Property Advisors. I hope you're all doing well today. Today, I'd like to share a story with you, a true story of one of our students of how he was a very successful small business owner and sold everything to become a very successful commercial real estate investor in less than a year. Now the question is, why would a successful small business owner sell everything and then jump into commercial real estate? Well, there are three reasons why. I'm going to share that with you now. Number one is, when you are a small business owner, you have very little time and you have very little freedom. I'm sure the ones that my audience here, small business owners, and also those of you that work a lot of hours at your job as if it was your small business, you know who I'm talking to. You have very little time, very little freedom to do anything else than work. Sure, you can relate. That's a problem. Number two is cash flow, right? As a small business owner, in most cases, if you're not engrossed into the business on a daily basis and monitoring everything on a daily basis, there's no cash flow, right? This is counter to commercial real estate, where you have a property manager doing most of that work for you. Okay, small business owner, you don't really have a property manager. You're it. Okay, that's a problem. That's problem number two. Problem number three is legacy, right? So when small business owners start a small business, it's their passion. And oftentimes, when they're ready to retire and want to leave a legacy to their kids, it's not the kids' passion. So the kids don't want it. What do? You have to sell it or disband the business or sell the business. So it's really difficult, if not impossible, to leave a legacy to your children or your family if you just have a small business, as opposed to commercial real estate where you can. Okay, so that's the problem. Every story, you have two parts. You have the problem that described, then you have the pursuit. The pursuit is commercial real estate. So I'm going to share with you this short video interview of our student Chris, where this was his problem. But their pursuit is what he did here. Okay, he purchased a 23-unit apartment building and he purchased a 20-pad mobile home park. And this video will share with you how he took it down, how he found it, how he financed it, the due diligence, exit strategy, whole 9 yards. And then at the end of the video, I'd like to share with you how to put yourself in Chris's shoes if you are a small business person, small business owner, successful or semi-successful, or you work a whole bunch of hours as if it's your business. Let's go to the video next. Hello, everyone. I have a great interview today from one of our students, an awesome, sharp, amazing guy. And he's going to share with you how he went from small business owner to commercial real estate investor. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, Peter. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. Thank you. You know, this video is high in demand, so when you're on our coaching calls, people are always asking, who is this Chris guy? So now today we get to find out who you are, Chris, and what you do. And you have an amazing story. So,
right.
So let's jump into it, Chris. So Chris, share with us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name's Chris and I live in Nashville, Tennessee, born and raised. And I'm currently a real estate investor. Previous to that, I was in the franchising space, in the fitness franchising space for about 8 years. And within the last year, I got into real estate.
Okay, great. Thank you. And so, Chris, people want to know, how you went from small business owner to commercial real estate investor with 2 great properties that you purchased. So share with us, from the beginning, what's your why? So what are some of the driving factors of why you came to us and how you jumped into commercial? So what are some of your whys?
Sure. A big thing for me is I wanted to find an avenue that I could really feel secure in and to really learn and grow and be able to, secure my life financially. And commercial real estate seemed to be one of the best opportunities to do so, as I did research and learned and read and watched. And so that's what made me interested in the first place.
Okay, and so when you operated your franchises, they were three fitness studios, basically, right?
So it was two fitness studios.
Okay, two fitness studios, and and those were going okay. But so why did you stop all that and jump into commercial real estate? So what were some of the driving factors there?
Sure. So, well, I've been doing it for 8 years and they were both going really well. After the pandemic, there was a shift. So things did become challenging as we went through that process, but we did maintain and got back on our feet and everything was moving well. I would just say after that time, after an 8-year time period, I'd learned a lot, experienced a lot, enjoyed a lot. But I felt it was time for something new. I was looking for a new opportunity. I was looking to use my time differently. With owning both studios, I was very present, very active, whether it be in a management role, just day to day. I also did a lot of training and coaching. And so it took up, 100% of my time. And I was looking to get into something where I could leverage some of the proceeds from running the business and leverage some of the skills I learned over the last several years into something else, something that I could scale. And so that's why I was looking in the commercial.
And so you basically sold your two fitness studios and used the proceeds to purchase two commercial properties, right?
I did. I went right into it. As the opportunity to sale came up and we were having those discussions, that's when I started reaching out to your team and getting involved and learning so that I'd be ready the moment I could. Once the proceeds came in, I said, I want to make sure that this goes to something good and keeps me moving forward ASAP. And that's what I did. Okay, great. And you did it well, Chris, to the point where, if you recall the conversation, you and I were having a phone conversation after your closing, and you said the words that never comes out of a business owner's mouth, right? And you said, Peter, what do I do with my time now? I have too much time on my hands. What should I be doing? And Sure.
So that's incredible. So that never comes out of any small business owner's mouth. But you closing your commercial properties afforded you time now. Is that right?
It did a lot.
Great. And what are you doing with that time?
So, with that time now, I am, I moved. I didn't live in Nashville at the time when I had the small businesses. So I've moved back home. So I'm having a lot more time with family and friends and being able to just get involved with things there and different projects and just seeing my family and friends. But then also with the commercial real estate, I have time to, actively look for other properties and actively seek other opportunities and continue to learn. So it's opened up a lot of time for that. Great. Yeah, time is it's a tough thing to get back, and you were able to get that back. So, all right. So let's jump into the fun stuff. Let's jump into the deal. So, Chris, you were able to purchase two commercial properties, a 23-unit apartment building and a 20 pad mobile home park. And let's start off with the mobile home park investment. So please share a little bit about that. Yes, so that was the first one that I started working on, the mobile home park. Purchased it for $1,080,000. And that one I found through the marketing efforts that I learned from you and the team. Okay, great. So a little bit more about the property. You had a very interesting seller. And in our company, we like to create win-wins for the seller and the buyer. And we really try to have you nurture the relationship with the sellers because that's where we get the best deals. So share a little more about that, Chris. Sure. So the sellers that I spoke with, they were in their 70s. They're professional investors that have been doing this for 30, 40 plus years, actually. Husband and wife. They have a big family. And in this part of Tennessee where the mobile home park was, they own a lot of commercial real estate and residential. So once I was able to get in front of them, we hit it off rather quickly. We just took a liking to each other. They knew that I was early in the process and early in the learning, and they were willing to share information and be transparent and be helpful. So I felt very fortunate in that with meeting with them. And I will say, I went to visit the property early on, and that seemed to make a big difference to them. They said they get calls all the time of people interested. They said, but for whatever reason, once meeting me or just knowing that I took the time to come and comment on the property in a positive light and take that time, it meant something to them. I remember them telling me that upon our first meeting.
That's great. Oftentimes people think, the person with the most money gets the best deals. And for you, that's not the case.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah. So it's nurturing and honoring the relationship with the sellers. So you did a great job there. Let's dig more into the property. So the purchase price was $1,080,000. And so talk to us a little bit about the due diligence you did, some of the upside, and basically why you like this investment.
Sure. So some of the upside to this investment. So it was well maintained and it was well run, but the rents were below market significantly. So there were a lot of homes within it that were between $150 to $250 below market. They're kind of, even though they own a lot of property, they still ran it in a very mom and pop way, and they hadn't raised rents, and they had told me that as well. So there's opportunity there. We had some opportunity with utilities, being able to build back utilities. But what I really liked about the property was they were good looking homes. They were well taken care of, and the way the mobile home park it's set back between a lot of other apartments and condos and single family homes. It's a very unique pocket that you wouldn't typically picture a mobile home park. To get to it, you pass through 8 different apartment complexes. It's a quarter mile from the university. It's just in a very good part of town. It's a very unique area. And so I just felt very safe and was attractive to me.
Okay, great. Let's talk about financing. So what did financing look like?
So the financing, we didn't do anything creative. I went with a commercial loan, and the lender that I worked with was someone that they've worked with the previous, or the sellers that they recommended I meet and talk with, that they had a relationship with, and so I worked with that lender. Okay,
great. And prior to that, you've had no commercial real estate experience, right?
I did not.
Yeah. So you've had to present yourself to the lender in a good light, so they would see you as a good risk. So again, it comes down to relationships. So the seller had a great relationship with the lender and referred the lender to you, who decided to lend you 75% of the purchase price. Is that right? Or was it 80?
70.
Oh, 70. Okay, 70%. Yeah, and you got a great interest rate.
Great interest
rate. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, now tell us about the upside in the park. We can raise the rents by how much and rubs by how much?
So the rubs, we've taken those up by about $30.
Okay. So for everyone in the audience, explain what rubs is.
So rubs is a utility bill back or a reimbursement for utilities, where previous owner was carrying a lot of that expense. So what it does is enables you to lower the expense.
Okay, got it. Okay, so please continue. So you have the rubs implementation, and the rents could go up as well, right?
Yes.
By how much?
I would say between $150 to $300.
Wow.
And it wasn't on every one. We have 2 bedrooms, we have 3 bedrooms. And so we're all over the place. As low as $600. And for 2 bedrooms, we brought them up to around $900 plus the utilities.
Wow.
But then there are other ones in between there that were $750 or $800. So it was really a mix. And so we just tried to handle that accordingly. Okay,
and that's 20 homes. And out of that 20, how many of them have you raised the rents and implemented rubs on out of the 20?
I would say at this point, about 16.
So Chris, you were able to, in 11 months, get 16 of the homes in a higher rent. And how much of a boost in income have you produced with the rent increases and implementing rubs?
I'd say about $200 a unit.
Okay, so if we do $200 a unit times when it's 16 homes, that's $3,200 a month, right? Times 12, that's $38,000, $38,400 per year that you've able to increase the NOI by. And what's the market cap rate? About 7%?
About 7.5%.
Okay, if I divide that number by 7.5, that's about $500,000 in appreciation you've produced in this park, right? Just on this one park, your entire down payment for the two investments, your mobile home park and apartment building, was about $600,000. So just this one park in just 11 months, you've pretty much, equity wise, recouped your down payment. Right. Yep. So that's phenomenal job there, Chris. Phenomenal job. All right. So let's move on. What's your exit strategy for this park? What's the plan?
Exit strategy going into it, buy and hold, and to cash out refinance.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Okay, great. So that's the mobile home park. Let's jump into the 23-unit apartment building.
Okay, so this one is a 23-unit apartment building. It's a mix of different sizes. So we have 2 bedrooms, we have 1 bedrooms, and we have some studios.
Okay, got it. And purchase price and how you financed it?
This one was purchased for $875,000, and I did traditional financing on this one. I had some better lending terms this time around. We had 20% down and interest only for the first year, and a strong interest rate.
Yeah, that's awesome. And also in this park, you're able to raise the rents as well, right?
Right.
Yeah. So in these 10 months you've had this park, what do you think the rent increases are?
I would say similar to the other, around 200, maybe even a little bit more. This one had a lot of exposure with utilities. The previous owner carried majority of the utilities.
Okay. And you switched that over to the tenants paying utilities.
I did. We only have 11 months in, we only have one more renewal to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, meeting with you every month, would you say that $200 per apartment is about your upside you've accomplished in the last 10 months?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. Okay. So again, we take the $200, right? And we multiply by 23 units. That's $4,600 a month, right? Times 12, right? That's $55,200. What's the market cap rate, Chris, about?
It's about the same, about 7.5.
Okay, so I divide that by 7.5% market cap rate. It comes out to be $736,000, Chris, that you will force appreciation by in 10 months.
Wow.
In 10 months, yeah. So, phenomenal job there. And again, I'll just share again. You've outlaid $600,000 when you sold your franchises, and so you created $1.3 million in forced appreciation in 11 months.
Yeah. It sounds wild to hear, but yeah.
So awesome job, Chris. Awesome job. And we talk about, again, you coming to me and say, Peter, after this, what do I do with my time? Mm-hmm. And so let's kind of talk about that now. So what's your plan, Chris? What's the future look like for you?
Sure. So my plan, short-term plan for the next year going into 2023, my goal is to double the amount of doors. So I'm currently at 43. I'll make that 50. I'd like to get to 100 total within the year.
Okay, got it. All right, that's awesome. Yeah,
that's one goal. And then, as I learn more, I need some more time, some more experience with the apartment complexes, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the apartments. So I want to do a little more there. But then in time, I'd like to look at storage and office space and learn more about those. But I really want to stick my energy right now into the apartment buildings and the mobile.
Okay, awesome. All right. So Chris, you were, last year, 11 months ago, you were a small business owner. you sold your fitness centers and you traded up into commercial, and you've done it successfully, right?
Yeah.
And we were, happy to help you, get to this stage now. So you've learned quite a bit over the time, and one of the great things I like about you, in this mentoring coaching process, is your level of messages to me in detail, right? So I can ask a single question and I get back 2 pages as an answer, and it's awesome. That's the way you process things, and it's great, right?
Yeah.
So we get a lot of information, and it helps us help you, right? So with that said, what are 1 or 2 maybe tips or tidbits you can give to the small business owner to do what you did, right? To maybe consider if they want to work less or build a legacy for your family, or not having to, so they want to create cash flow without having to work in an office or in a business so much. What are 1 or 2 things you can share with them as tips to do what you've done?
Sure. I would say first to seek a mentor, seek coaching from someone that you trust. So that's been invaluable to me, to have someone that can educate me and instruct me, guide me, and help give me confidence and keep me making positive steps daily. That's been huge for me. Just that coaching and mentorship that I've gotten from you and the team. I couldn't recommend it any more, honestly.
Great.
Yep. And the second thing that I would say is to start now. So while you're in the business, I wish that I had done it a year before or a couple years before. I'm still thankful, but I wish I had started while I was still bringing in income, while I was still in a certain mode. I wish I had set aside some time to start the real estate journey during that time. I think that would have been helpful. I think that would have been helpful in a lot of ways. And then the third thing that I would say is just when entering, this new environment or new goal, just enter it with excitement and with passion, and not fear and skepticism. Be excited about it, just like you were with whatever business you're currently in or have been in before. Know that there's opportunity on the other side, but that there's a lot of help that you need, that we need, and seek it and get it, appreciate it, and use it. There are people that are here to help. So just take advantage of it. Don't go it alone. I would not. I could not. Not I would not. I could not. I don't know where I'd be. I just would have not started.
Yeah. Great. All right. We really appreciate those tips, Chris. Those are from a person who's who was 11 months ago a beginning commercial real estate investor, and in just short 11 months now you are a successful commercial real estate investor with nothing but sky's the limit for you, Chris.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Peter. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, Chris. Hey, thank you for this interview, and we'll be talking soon. Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with me here. I hope you enjoyed Chris's video. Do me a favor. You can see how awesome Chris did and what an awesome job he did in less than a year. Do me a favor and just encourage him. Send him a message. Hit the like video. Send him a message. Reply. Put a comment in there and tell him congratulations. Give him a high five and tell him to keep on going. His 100 unit goal is within reach. Don't you believe it? All right. So let him know that. All right. So in this part of the video, what I want to do is summarize a little bit about the deal and Chris, so that I can help you put yourself in Chris's shoes if you are a small business owner, right? Or if you are small business owner like, meaning you have a 9-to-5 job where you're working, you're behind off, and it's just like having a business, but you're not getting all the benefits. All right. So let's do a brief overview. All right. Number 1, a little bit about Chris. Again, 34 years old, amazing guy. Chris told me at the beginning of the process, he says, Peter, I'm not a type A. And in this business, you don't have to be a type A. You can be type A, B, or C. It doesn't matter. You just need to follow the system, okay, that Chris followed. And then number 2, Chris had 2 franchises that he sold. He compiled them over 7 years, and his problem was time. No time freedom for himself to do anything that was working on or in the business, and he couldn't scale. All right, so that was his problem, right? And then again, a story has two parts. It has a problem and a pursuit. This was the problem. Here's the pursuit: commercial real estate. A little bit about Chris's deals: 23-unit apartment building he bought for $875. If you recall, we got the rents up, we charged back utilities. It is now worth $1.6 million, and all of this, mind you, in less than a year. Okay, so what I remember about Chris is he's precise, he's analytical, his follow-up is incredible. He's a person of integrity, and also his ability to nurture the relationships with the sellers is really good. Okay, he bought also a 20-pad mobile home park for $1,080,000. We did the same thing. Okay, so you got the rents up, and now it's worth $1.58 million. You combine the two, Chris's portfolio now sitting at $3.18 million. Okay, he owes 1.45. So Chris has generated a net worth of $1.72 million in less than a year. Okay, so he made $500,000 by selling his two franchises, and he's tripled that. Okay, with commercial real estate. Okay, now this is amazing, right? And the cash flow that's amazing for Chris. But you want to know something that's more amazing? It's what Chris told me. So after he closed on it and he's working on his two projects here, he said this to me, and this is something no small business owner would ever say. Only commercial real estate owners would say this. He said, "Peter, what do I do with my time now?" Okay, I'm like, okay, you came in the program with no time, now you have time. He goes, yes. What's the best way to use my free time now? So to me, that's bigger than this net worth here, because now he has time to spend with his family, his friends, and work on other parts of his life. That's the benefit of commercial real estate owner. Okay, so if you are a small business owner and you're looking to do something else, like Chris, give yourself options. Think about commercial real estate. Okay, I'm going to finish off with the 3 tips that Chris gave that I think are so spot on. Number 1, Chris said that to get help. He said, don't go it alone. So get someone else on your team to help you do this. Okay. Number 2 is start now. And he said, don't wait. So don't procrastinate. You know the saying, the best time to buy real estate was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Okay. And number 3, he said, enter real estate with excitement and without skepticism as the best you can. Basically said, don't dabble, be all in, right? And also he alluded to having the right mindset. And I really believe that. So I have a video on the mindset that Chris exactly has to become as successful as he is now. This video will appear on the screen. It's about mindset, okay? About not having the consumer mindset, but the entrepreneurial mindset that you need to be successful. It will appear on the screen. All right, thanks everyone for hanging out with me today. I hope you learned something today, and for you small business owners and people that are working all of these crazy hours at your job, I hope this encouraged you. All right, thank you everyone. Please like this video. If you want more, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and or visit our website, commercialpropertyadvisors.com. Thank you everyone. I'll see you at the next video.